This is Norwegian Constitution Day. I'm in Oslo and it's the 17th of May, or Norway's National Day, or simply Syttende Mai. It is a glorious day in the Norwegian capital city, as it was 2 years ago, the last time I was here for Syttende Mai. But last year, back in Trondheim, we had a very wet day indeed. But whatever the weather, Norwegians still take to the streets to celebrate. Are you planning a trip to Norway on the 17th of May? Or perhaps you're new to Norway and wondering what all the fuss is about. If so, keep watching, because in this video, I'm going to reveal the 10 must-know things about Norway's National Day. Number 1. What it's all about. The clue is in the name, of course, but Norwegian Constitution Day marks the signing of the Norwegian Constitution in 1814. Prior to this, Norway was at various times part of Denmark, and in a union with both Denmark and Sweden. You might think the signing of the Constitution took place in Oslo, but actually that's not the case. It happened here, in a country manor house in Eidsvoll. It was here in 1814 that representatives from across Norway met to discuss, agree and sign the Constitution. Essentially, this was the creation of modern Norway that we know today. If you are interested in history, then a visit to Eidsvoll Manor is an interesting way of finding out more about this story. Number 2. The flag is everywhere. From the moment you wake up on the 17th of May to the moment you go to bed, you'll see the red, white and blue of the Norwegian flag everywhere. Large flags are put out by most local residents, children carry flags in the parades, as do some people watching the parades. The flag is even on cakes. You can buy a flag from the street on Syttende Mai, but I would suggest getting one in advance to save yourself a lot of money. Flags and a lot of other red, white and blue things are widely available in Norwegian stores from the beginning of May. Number 3. Children are the focus of the day. It's a day full of national pride, yet there's no displays of military power, and the politicians keep more or less quiet. Norway's Constitution Day is all about the children. The lack of military parades is perhaps the most notable difference about Norway's Constitution Day compared to other National Day celebrations around the world. Instead, the main parade is full of children from local schools, many of whom are in marching bands. This reflects the wider position of children in Norwegian society. Parents are given perhaps the world's most generous parental leave. A lot of focus is put on youth sports, and it's generally fine for someone to leave the office to take care of a sick child. So with all that in mind, it's no surprise that children take centre stage on the 17th of May. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that they look forward to it as much as a birthday or Christmas, as while there aren't any gifts, they can generally eat as many hot dogs and as much ice cream as they can. Number 4. The parades. This one won't be a surprise, as you've already seen a lot of footage of parades in the video so far. But let's talk about them in more detail. In every settlement up and down the country, from the biggest cities to the tiniest communities, school children march through the streets on the 17th of May. Here in Oslo, the parade takes hours. Just look at how many schools participate. This year it was 119. In Oslo, the school children march through the streets to the Royal Palace, where they wave at the royal family. I tend to watch this part on TV because you need tickets to get this close, but there's plenty of other places to watch along the parade route. Different places run different events. For example, in Trondheim, following the school's parade, there's a people's parade, full of local clubs and societies, and colour. In local neighbourhoods, schools might also put on their own mini parade during the day. Number 5. The food. There is no shortage of food on the 17th of May, although it does tend to be of the sweet and fast variety. That being said, a traditional 17th of May breakfast is the way a lot of people choose to start the day. This involves salmon, eggs, whatever you like to have for breakfast really, but usually with the addition of a glass of fizz and some strawberries. Later in the day, it's all about the snacks. Ice creams are eaten in great quantities, whatever the weather, while hot dogs, waffles, and other quick items keep people's energy levels up throughout the day's festivities. Number 6. The marching bands. Music is everywhere on the 17th of May, but the marching bands are the most common. Part of the parades, but also performing concerts throughout the day, the sound of the bands, sometimes adults, sometimes high schoolers, is almost synonymous with Constitution Day. Various concerts are hosted later in the day, and all sorts of bands, choirs, and other performers spring up. If there's one thing the 17th of May isn't, it's quiet. Number 7. Everyone looks their best. Norwegians rarely dress up. The workplace, for example, is generally a casual place, but there are a few exceptions to the rules. One big exception is the 17th of May. It's the one day of the year where you are sure to see Norwegians looking their smartest, whether it's a suit, a formal dress, or in many cases the folk dress known as the Bunad. Number 8. It's a time to remember. Before the day's celebrations really get started, it's normal for a town or city to host a series of memorial services. Generally, these are held at graves or statues of significant figures. They are advertised in advance in the day's programme and are fairly well attended considering the early start. Number 9. It's the end of the Russ celebration. Where to start with this one? Norway's high schoolers, before their final exams, spend the period from mid-April to the 17th of May enjoying one long party period. It's considered a rite of passage in Norway. Russ are easy to identify as they wear coloured overalls, usually red or blue, but there are other colours too, for the whole period. The night of the 16th of May is usually a huge party. In most towns, the Russ will be around on the 17th of May, continuing the party or nursing sore heads. In Trondheim, there is a Russ parade that takes place later in the afternoon, which is what you're seeing footage of here. Number 10. It's celebrated all over the world. This might sound unexpected, but yes, Norway's National Day is actually celebrated in many other places around the world. Typically, big cities like London, or areas in North America with strong Norwegian heritage, such as Seattle or parts of the Midwest, host events, often at community centres or public parks. I hope you enjoyed this look at what to expect on Norwegian Constitution Day. If you want to see more of the atmosphere in Oslo on Syttende Mai, watch this video next.